Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are in for a treat, not only for the entire weekend, but this is the first ever real American hardwood hot saw championships of the United States. We have 23 competitors from all over the United States, one person coming here all the way from Australia. The format of the competition here today is we are going to introduce the competitors and they are going to draw for their seedings. Come Sunday, we are going to be looking at crowning a champion that is going to, well, the entire weekend they are competing for over $30,000 in prize money, and the champion is going to be taking home $8,000 on Sunday. Today is provisional, well, we have 10 provisional Sawyers that automatically get qualified into the show tomorrow, and then they will compete from there to get into Sunday. Those 10 competitors have been chosen based on their records over the last several years in various hot saw competitions in the United States and in fact around the world. The other 14 competitors, as I mentioned, there are 24 in total, have got to qualify today with their times in heats. Today we're going to be running 6 heats of 4. All 24 competitors will compete today, and as I mentioned, 10 have already provisionally qualified for the competition tomorrow.
So we have 6 spots that we're getting from 14 athletes that can advance to tomorrow's competition.
And the other voice you just heard is our co-host for the day. My name is Bill Diba. I'm here as your stage announcer. Co-host is over there from West Virginia, Arden Koger Jr.
Good to see you all. Let's have a good time today. What do you say? Let's enjoy ourselves. Put your hands together because you're going to see some of the best hot saw racing that you've ever seen. Now, some people out here may not even know what a hot saw is. Well, you're going to find out. It is the strongest motor pound for pound in all of racing sports. These motors, these 23 motors that you see on the front of this stage, those things weigh about 60 pounds, 50 to 60 pounds, and they're turning between 50 and 75 horsepower. So they got a pound of horsepower per pound. And I tell you one thing, folks, you're going to see some fast cuts today. Bill, take it back.
And the rules are, maybe like while we're here, we got on the line, while we have you on the line, the rules are they must be one cylinder,
full start, and it has to start it with a cold motor, make 3 cuts down, up and down on this 16-inch lathe turn aspen wood. So it's going to be fun, Bill. It's going to be fast.
So before I get started, we have a lot to communicate to you over the next hour and a half. I'd like to introduce to you our head judge for the competition here today, Zach Browse. Zach, come on out.
Zach, come on out.
He'll be the guy who...
He's the man in the stripes. He is the fellow that is going to be the heavy for the competitors, folks. He is a competitor, but he is also the judge here today. He is not going to take any BS from any of these guys, and they're all big, strong lumberjacks.
Also instrumental to putting on any kind of a hot saw competition or a lumberjack competition are the wood crew. We have 3 guys that are very instrumental in helping out this competition here this weekend, starting with Chris Bradshaw.
This is from Ridgely, West Virginia, and also a competitor. We have Jonathan Browse. And finally, we have Hunter Waite. These are going to be the fellas that are outside, not being athletes, but they are all athletes, and they are going to be part of this competition today. But now, the people that you want to see. We're going to introduce our athletes. Up first, we have Aaron Hovis from Mark I, Missouri.
And while they do that, they're going to come up and do their draw.
Yes. And he is going to draw for his position. He is going to draw a number out of the hat. What number?
He drew number 1.
Number 1. So he is going to be heat 1, position 1. Aaron Hovis.
Woo! Go first!
Up next, all the way from Tennessee, we have Adam Lethco. Adam is a forester by trade, but when he is not hot saw racing, I tell you one thing, that little guy can run a mean saw.
He has drawn number 17.
Number 17.
17, right beside 18 here.
least he'll know what he has to do by then.
Up next is Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely is from North Carolina.
Woo! Ben! Let's be real. I know all of them. I'll try not to yell. But that one's my answer.
Number 15 for Ben Nicely.
Up next is Ben Whalen. Ben Whalen is from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Number 2.
Up next is Billy Cornelius. Billy Cornelius is from New Hampshire.
Billy has drawn number 9.
Up next is Brett Smith. Brett is one of our local boys. He lives not far from here in Watkins Glen.
Brett, what do you got? Number 20 over here, Brett.
Up next is Brian Walmsley. Brian is from Princeton, West Virginia. When he's not doing this, he works as a forester and a farmer.
Number 11 for Brian. Brian?
Up next, from New Hampshire, or pardon me, Vermont, is Calvin Willard. Calvin Willard. Calvin also works as a forester. One of our fastest hot saw operators we have here today. He holds multiple world titles in these events.
And he's a maple syrup producer in Vermont.
That is correct.
Number 8 for Calvin.
Woo!
Up next, we have Dave Engasser. Dave is from Cortland, New York. He has worked as a lineman for the past 30-odd years.
Dave has got number 21.
Up next, we have Dominic Ruckel. Dominic is from Pennsylvania. He works for Lewis Lumber. He is basically a jack of all trades, a boilermaker, a welder, you name it. He can fix it, he built it.
Dominic's got number 22.
Up next, from Bethlehem, Connecticut, is Eric Piazza. Eric brought his little saw to run here today, folks. He has one that's 500 cc's, and she's a beast, but it's a little cumbersome to run into smaller wood.
Eric has got number 13.
Up next, all the way from Kilcoy, Queensland, Australia, is Gerald Yules. This young man actually assembled and built his hot saw in the week that he has been here.
And the only rotary saw on the stage. And he's got number 10.
Up next is Jason Lentz from Diana, West Virginia. Jason has won multiple world titles and is a former record holder in this event.
Now, just to be clear, they are drawing numbers for their heat number and the stand they will be on. 18 for Jason, which means he'll be in heat 5, stand number 2, for example.
Up next, we have Josh Wilson from Morgantown, West Virginia. Josh works for Greylock Energy. He is a landman.
Josh has got 4.
Up next, we have Mark Boquin. Mark is from here in New York. He is the littlest competitor we have here today, and he has by far the best beard. And if you want to shake hands with him afterward, good luck with that.
Is Mark allowed to be wearing his hockey gloves like he is right now? 14, you said?
Up next, Matt Koger from Grafton, West Virginia. Matt is one of the best all-around lumberjacks that don an axe or a saw over the course of the years.
Matt has got lucky 7.
Up next, from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee is Maddie Slingerland. Maddie Slingerland. He has a doctorate in physical therapy and he manages rental units.
Number 5.
Up next is Jason's father, Melvin Lentz from Diana, West Virginia. Melvin, as I think, is the oldest competitor we have here today. He's 66 years young, if I'm not mistaken.
It's sexy.
And Melvin's got 3.
Up next, from Ohio, we have Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan, he is a chainsaw safety instructor, and he has won more titles in hot sawing than we can count.
And Mike has got number 6.
Up next, who is going to be Richard Jordan from Sterling, Connecticut. Sterling, Connecticut. Richard has the distinction of having the most children of all the fellows here today, folks. Just telling you right now.
And how many is that, Erd?
He's got 7.
He drew number 16.
Number 16.
He'll be in heat number 4, stand number 4.
Up next, our second oldest competitor here today, from Ohio, Tim Winkler. Tim is a retired educator. He worked as a shop foreman, and he is a very skilled builder.
Tim has got number 12. He'll be in heat 3, stand number 4.
Up next, we have Trevor Beaudry. Trevor Beaudry. Trevor is from Walpole, New Hampshire. He is also an instructor or a teacher, and he is coming to his own in the sport.
Trevor has got number 19.
And finally, the fella who got delayed and got in this morning and actually arrived at the arena about 30 minutes ago from California, Nate Hodges. Nate Hodges, he is number 23.
Nate's got number 23. He'll be in heat 6, stand 3.
All right. So put your hands together for these 23 athletes, folks. You are going to see some hot saw racing, and right now we need to see Aaron Hovis on stand 1. We need to see Ben Whalen on stand 2. We need to see Melvin Lentz on stand 3, and we need to see Josh Wilson on stand number 4.